Well, our good friends in Marin County would say that crime is caused by a deficit in contact with nature. What do they call it? Nature sensory deficit or something like that. And sort of the theory, I think, behind that is that ingrained in the DNA, almost all of human history, we've been living in caves, living in trees, living in the savannas, living in the jungle, not even living in huts. And so the idea is that somehow there's the genetic component for nature. You got to have some nature in there. Sort of like cats. Cats need to hunt something, and if they can't find something to hunt, they pretend they're hunting, right? I mean, so the cat's got to hunt.
Right.
And
so it is. That's our background.
Right. So maybe you have to have a little nature. I know many people feel that contact with nature is very soothing and healing and stress reducing, and I agree with that. I mean, gosh, I thoroughly agree with that. It's always been that way with me.
Yeah.
I find the cities much more stressful than the forests or the ocean or the jungle. It's the urban areas that are stressful. So if it could be that some kids need to go to the camp for a month or two a year to get back in contact with that.
Right.
And I can't say that
it's hardly, I mean, I don't know, very few.
Well, my suspicion is that it's a whole lot more than just not being around trees. There's a lot of other things that go into it. And part of it is just this kind of haphazard way that people build their perceptual frameworks, and unfortunately, it is haphazard.
Well, that's kind of what haphazard we have built our cities and big cities.
We build stresses.
Without any.
It's driven by economics.
Right.
Literally. Well, there's the stress of going hungry. That's clearly for a large part of the world.
Oh yeah.
They say you shouldn't complain. You live in an urban area where you can get a job and eat. We live in a rural area where you can't grow anything and starve, and there's no job. They clearly, from over the past 5 years, the somewhat extensive travels we've done in Mexico clearly shown that the very small towns tend to be actually losing population. And then I sort of pegged it at around 20,000, 25,000, those towns and cities. When they reach that level, it would just grow naturally. There'd be because there was enough economic engine to fuel it. And so people were attracted to it, and it would just grow. Whereas, particularly in the small rural communities with no economic base, people would leave. Particularly the young people would leave because there's no opportunity. And there was not a way that they could see how they could create those opportunities. And so they would go to the urban areas. And again, anytime you get a place, an urban area, you're going to get the crime. It's just, it goes with it. So if you really want to avoid crime, then realistically, what you have to do is go to a rural area or small community.
It's up to the people there if they take you in or not.
Well, I guess, if you move to an area where you don't fit in.
Right.
Oh, groan. That's a disaster. We've known people that's happened. Oh, God, I can't wait to get there. And then, oh, golly gee, it wasn't what we thought it was.
Right.
If it's one thing, it's not another. It's too much bigotry, too much, this or that, and check it out before you move there.
Right.
You can't stand the people. You might not fit in too well,